EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo set to call all the action here at the Wells Fargo Championship. We are at Quail Hollow, and Frank, it is really one of the best courses on tour.
It is a great state of North Carolina where Donald Ross developed so many great courses. They're the sort of courses that we're used to seeing, but this is a relatively new golf course. First opened up in 1961, but it certainly fits in with the North Carolina landscape. Mature trees, holes well cut out, beautiful greens, and interesting finish.
How do you like that finishing stretch? They call it the Green Mile.
Some might think it's purgatory, but I think it's the perfect touch to a great golf course.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. Let's check in on the action at hole number 14. Has not been a banner day for our featured player, Frank, but it is only the first round.
You always got to try and get something out of your round, even if it's something to work on for tomorrow.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
That's a beautiful shot, and that sets him up for a really easy putt. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. We're now teed up at the 15th hole. It is the final par 5 here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. And Frank, I remember this hole well. McIlroy stiffed a 5-iron on his way to making eagle, his first PGA Tour win. That came back in 2010.
And the opportunity exists again here. Under 600 yards, plays downhill off the tee. Those 2 bunkers on the right are perfectly situated. That second one about 310 yards to it. So something straight at that one with a little draw will set up that mid-iron or long iron that has to be hit very high and uphill. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Frank, not where he wants to be, but not out of the hole here at the par 5.
No, but Rich, to drop a shot here would really set him backwards.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Solid effort and reasonable result to stay at 1 over par. At last, we have arrived at the start of one of the most daunting finishing stretches in all of golf. They call it the Green Mile, 16, 17, and 18 here at Quail Hollow. The 16th is a par 4, 508 yards, Frank.
And this hole was made even more difficult when they pushed that green further left to bring the water more in play with the second shot. I mean, it's a great par 4. It's strong in every single department.
Well, that one didn't work out. It didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Not an easy one, 20 feet away. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. That's a bogey putt, dropping down the leaderboard a bit, now at 2 over par. Frank, this is all you want in a par 3, especially late in the round. You have to carry the water. You have to deal with the pressure. At 221 yards, this requires a player's... Frank, sadly, I've been there too often. In the water, you get down on yourself. What's the right way to approach this mentally?
Well, you've almost got to take a step backwards, Rich. This can add up so quickly. So give yourself a little pat on the back, say it's fine. I mean, you're human. You're allowed to hit bad shots. But the big thing now is to avoid 2 in a row.
So this will be the 3rd shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Ouch, that hurts. Double bogey. Now to the finishing hole here at Quail Hollow. Frank, what can we expect?
If there was a name for this hole, Rich, it should be called Narrows. The creek that meanders its way down the left side and actually divides that hole into really half the size of what a normal par 4 should be. That makes it hard. The bunker on the right is your bail area, just over 290 yards to get past that, and then the narrowest green that still sits up against the lake. This is just a brutal finish. This has to go in the hazard.
It needs to get... Frank, we've all been there. You hit one in the water, you're down. How do you regroup?
You've got to start from scratch again. Everybody's going to hit bad shots. That's just the nature of the game. But compounding mistakes, that's the problem that you want to avoid.
This now the fourth shot after the last one was in the water.
Yeah, just somehow just get it on the green.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Boy, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Well, double par here. Time to pick up and move on. Well, that'll do it for day number 1, and a tough start for some of those who were hoping for better things.
Yeah, slow start, surprisingly, really, and hard to put your finger on why, because we saw a lot of good golf, but now, outside looking in, we'll need to play well tomorrow.
Today's coverage brought to you by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. And we welcome you to one of the most popular golf courses on the PGA Tour. It is Quail Hollow. We're in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Frank, it is just starting to heat up out on the golf course. Fans are streaming in, anticipating a highly contested event with the best golfers in the world.
One reason the fans love this course so much, Rich, the Green Mile. It's fine to have a good golf course, but it's got to have a great finish. It's got a great finish, then it becomes a great golf course. Quail Hollow has that great finish of 16, 17, and 18.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Come on, don't do that.
Cruel lip out.
So just a formality here. Nothing wrong with that par putt. Now at the par 5, 15th hole, 577 yards. Frank, you remember what Rory McIlroy did here in 2010, that final round, 62?
I certainly do, Rich. That was an amazing run on the second 9. And holes like this, too. He just stood up here with a driver and just obliterated it down there with a nice draw. Took those bunkers out of play and just set up a mid-iron.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. And he's made it onto the green now. Settles in over the putt. A great roll right there. Just a pure stroke right in the heart. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. That's as bad as I have seen. Folks, that one is now on the fringe.
Even par currently.
Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Just 2 holes remaining here at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is the signature par 3, 221 yards, the 17th.
And they have a multitude of tees here. One of the new back tees is actually where the old 16th green was. And if you think don't go left is the way to play, then that won't work either, because right's not that much good. This is it. Stand on the tee, and you better hit a good shot.
Always 2 components to the long lag putt, the speed, number 1, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. Ooh, so close. Frank, amazing how this hole has gotten away.
Yeah, he's not Robinson Crusoe. Happened to everybody that's played this game.
So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Here we are, the 18th hole at Quail Hollow. Simply put, Frank, a player needs to hit maybe his best tee shot of the day.
I would agree with you, Rich. If you were to measure this hole from trees on the left to trees on the right, it's actually a really wide fairway or expansive land. But that creek that just meanders its way through the middle of this hole completely changes the nature of this hole. And consequently, you hit the nail on the head. If you don't hit a good tee shot, you will rack up something here. And I've got no idea how big it'll be.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Beautiful approach shot there and a good chance to take advantage. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So a tester from 4 feet. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all. A very quick exit, miscut. Not the only one there, but surprising.
The weekend now to regroup. Just didn't hit many good shots. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Players.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. By my reckoning, we have 140 yards left. Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
No, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh my gosh, that hurts. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the fourth. Well, with that drop shot, moves to 1 over for the tournament. And now over to the fifth. It has not gone all that well early in the round for our featured golfer. What do they need to do, Frank, to turn this thing around?
Well, you can't dwell on what's just happened. There's plenty of holes ahead. Look at the scorecard, par fives to play, things like that. Really pick apart this golf course. There's going to be plenty of opportunities around the corner. There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you've got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
He'll have 17 feet on this putt. Boy, that hurts right there, Frank.
Yeah, he's got to knuckle down now, though, because, we've seen it before, Rich. 2 putts turn into 3, 4. So make sure you can limit the damage here.
Trying to put this hole behind him quickly. Double bogey putt. 3 over for the day. Frank, you don't want to get too cute with that second shot here at the sixth.
I remember many a time, Rich, when they put the flag right of center. You try and hit it a little bit too close, those palm trees all of a sudden come into play. Hits one of those, that ball can go anywhere.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Good-looking shot right here. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's at sneaky distance. Oh, now that is going to hurt.
These putts keep the round together. Tough break. So they'll tap in. So a drop shot. 7th hole here at Sawgrass. Frank, a bit uncomfortable off the tee.
It is. It reminds me a little bit of the opening hole, much longer version, where when you stand on the tee and look at the green, it's a straightaway hole. But that fairway goes to the left and it comes back to the right. But they're all optical illusions.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Wow, that hurt.
It did. Shot gone forever.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
TPC Sawgrass, the fabled stadium course designed by the legendary Pete Dye. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Here at the 8th, Frank, most players are happy walking out of here with a par 3.
And the reason why, it's a very narrow entry to this green. It's just littered with bunkers around, left, behind, to the side, and even short. Once you get further up the green, though, even though this is sort of an undulating green, it starts to widen up. So don't get trapped into just looking at the front of this hole.
I'll tell you what, Phil the Thrill, Phil Mickelson could not have done it any better. What a bunker shot. Oh my goodness, he missed it. He missed a bunny. That's like missing a layup in basketball. Just a couple of feet. That is another bogey. It's getting messy, Frank.
Ouch.
And that'll wrap up the first round. We saw some good golf today, Frank, but some others, they got off to a slow start.
Yeah, and I don't really know how to explain why. Maybe lack of practice rounds, maybe not enough time on the golf course. They certainly will have to regroup tomorrow and put up a show just to make the cut.
NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Players.
Second shot. This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. He'll need to be strong with this. Bit surprising. He misses the green in regulation here at the par 5.
Yeah, you'd think this is one of the easier holes on the golf course. So now just trying to avoid 6.
And he's made it onto the green now. Getting set now over the putt. Ooh, that's a tough break with that miss. Trying to limit the damage here. This putt is for bogey. Frank, this has been an absolute mess today and all week long.
You said it best.
Here now, the 12th hole at the TPC Sawgrass. It's a 358-yard par 4, so short on the card, Frank, but obviously a challenge. What's the key here?
Once again, trying to find that right position on the fairway, and that's down the right side. Anything down the left, that mound is going to block your view.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Now the approach to the 12th. Frank, what's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
How about that shot? From that lie to get it that close, tremendous effort. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he makes it for a bogey here. And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds, and you can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with the bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Frank, this game will drive you crazy.
Yeah, you can do so many things right, and just something so simple, completely wrong.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Frank, historically in this great championship, 14 has proven to be a pivotal hole.
Everybody focuses on the finish here, but you're absolutely right, Rich. This can be an absolute scorecard record, because if you spin your drive left, the drop back, perhaps on the ladies' tees, you can make 6 in a heartbeat. You try and air to the right, you can make 6 from the mounds. So a good drive down 14 gives you a chance for that fast finish.
Not missing by much today, but enough to again be in the bunker. Frank, what are the problems posed with a fairway bunker shot?
He's got to hit it nearly perfect, Rich, because the bunker's going to magnify any mistake he makes. This is where you really have to focus on great contact.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Now a 7-footer. Okay, no problem with that one.
Well, early exit for one of what I thought Rich was going to be the favorite, but their week's over.
Numbers don't lie in this case, in this sport, and now a missed cut. NBC Golf Channel on EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. It's the opening round of the Peach Invitational. Excellent drive, Frank, right where you want to be. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green and looking at a birdie opportunity. This is a long putt. Really the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
Kind of a tricky read. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. So, 2 over par for the round. If you're just joining us, let's take you out to our featured golfer at the 5th. It has not gone all that well early in the round for our featured golfer. What do they need to do, Frank, to turn this thing around?
Well, you can't dwell on what's just happened. There's plenty of holes ahead. Look at the scorecard, par 5s to play, things like that. Really pick apart this golf course. There's going to be plenty of opportunities around the corner.
Now getting set for the approach here at the 5th hole at East Lake. Frank, what's the right way to go?
Well, if you've got a long club in hand, you can't sort of bounce the ball and let the ball sort of turn to the left. Everything slopes from that back right corner to that middle left portion of the green.
Frank, this is a cross-country putt. He'll have a go at it, though, for birdie. We'll see.
There's no backing down here. This is going to go up and down and all over the place. But a chance to go in. Well, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now par.
Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Well, Frank, what do you think of the 6th hole here at East Lake?
It's beautiful. That's if you don't want to play it, that's for sure. It just sits out there. You can see why it's one of the signature.
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
3rd shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
You can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Well, just to the right there with some room to play.
It's no snack, though.
Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
Time to regroup. That's a double bogey. Well, Frank, we've made it through the 6th unscathed. And here we are at the 7th hole. And a little movement to this par 4 goes to the left.
Exactly. The first hole that actually shapes that way at East Lake. There's one bunker down the left side, that short bunker not in play. You would think you'd want to draw it off this tee, but really the best access to this undulating green is down the right side.
Headed for the bunker. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Routine stuff here, Frank, from the bunker?
You just got to be careful of that lip in front of him with this 3rd shot coming up.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Well, in the sand, but it has been raked nicely, looking for something positive. Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie.